It's that time of year. That's the season, as people would say, where we have a bunch of YouTubers just doing random top 10 lists of whatever, top 10 cheeses of 2023, top 10 smelly underwear of 2023. And I'm no different. Honestly, I'm no different. But I don't usually do top 10 lists or anything like that. Instead, I'm going to be different. I'm not going to be a basic white bitch. I'm going to be a uh, original bitch, and I'm going to do a top 12. Why? Because there's 12 months in a year, so I'm going to do a top 12 of the anime that I watch. Now, this list is solely based on the anime that I've seen this year. What does that mean? It means that if I do not mention Bleach or Jujutsu Kaisen or Frieren or Freeren, whatever the name is, don't get mad because I just didn't watch them. So is this my list? Yes, it is my list. So with that said, don't expect to have like all the popular anime here or the animes that you've seen. Okay, so this is what I've seen, and I'm going to give it to you as well as also show you where you can see them or where you can watch them. So with that said, let's begin with number 12. Number 12, and honestly, this could be like number one because I'm not a fan of this genre of anime. And it's very well known that I'm not. But this series did a good job at introducing me to a kind of good take. I'm not gonna say fresh, but it's a good take on the genre, and that is Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. Honestly, I was not expecting much, but honestly, it's good. It's good for being a Gundam series, and I'm not like a particular fan of Gundam. This story has good intrigue. It's got war. The animation is great. It's very beautiful. The music is fantastic. So if you are a Gundam fan, you probably have already seen this, and this could be like higher on your list. But for someone that doesn't like Gundams, this was really good to make my top 12. So 100% highly recommend The Witch from Mercury. Let's go to number 11. This is a recent anime, and honestly, it caught me by surprise because I didn't think I was going to like it after episode 2, but the characters are very endearing. They especially the main protagonist, and that is Shy, and you can also watch this on Crunchyroll. Shy is literally just a miraculous Ladybug the anime. You have a rookie superhero that is quirky and shy and awkward and just tries to make it. There's other superheroes that are more experienced, and you have a villain that takes advantage of negative emotions. So that's the premise. It's really good. Now, it's not anything groundbreaking or life changing, but it's definitely innocent and something that you can share with any member from of your family. So let's go to number 10. Number 10 is a romance anime, a romantic comedy, and that is My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. So I'm very fond of romantic comedies, and for some reason we've had the awkward or cold guy with the super quirky ray of sunshine girl. We've seen it in plenty of animes lately. Love of the World Domination, My Dress Up Darling, and the list keeps going and ongoing. So here we have it with My Love Story with Yamada-kun. We have a girl who gets broken up with, and then by fate and destiny through online gaming, she meets Yamada-kun, and then it's just a recipe for romance and disaster. But the romantic aspect of this anime is not overly cheesy. It's just cute and very quirky. It's very funny, and the series is in itself kind of self-aware of what it is, and it makes a very lighthearted and a memorable experience. So if you like romantic comedies, this one would 100% make it to your list. So let's go with the number 9. Number 9, it's an action anime, and that is The Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. Now this is a this is a very interesting one, because if you like milfs and mommy anime girls, you're gonna have your heart out on this one. Eat your heart out on this one. So this one you can watch on High Dive, and it's the story of this undead sorcerer that awakens as a 10-year-old boy, and he's like learning and being OP. It's an isekai, and it's full of action. It's got a good comedy, and the protagonist is not like as annoying as a lot of like older men reborn into like young boys, which we've seen plenty of. Um, and I like it. It's fine. It's good. Uh, but the action definitely was something that I looked at, and for being an isekai, and for me to like it as much as I did, I had to put it on top of Yamada-kun, because I'm already like prone to like romantic comedies. So for isekais, not that much. Next, number 8, I believe. I think so. I mean, I have the numbers anyway. So this is a fantastic protagonist in a semi okay story, but because of that protagonist, you get Hell's Paradise that you can watch on Crunchyroll. Now, Hell's Paradise is the story of uh, Gabimaru and his pursuit to be killed, as presented on the first episode. What are his motives? What are his intentions? Does he want to die, and why? You'll get to find out. It's a very interesting story, very interesting concept when you have a bunch of rascals thrown into the mix. I don't want to give you spoilers or anything like that, so I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But Hell's Paradise is great action, produced by Mappa the Overlords, whipping that chain. And now a lot of people will say, "Oh well, I want like super cool animation and everything." And it was a complaint earlier in the year that this doesn't have the animation budget of like Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan. But it's really good regardless. And the standouts for me on this series was the characters, not necessarily the story, especially the protagonist Gabimaru. So let's go to number 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah. Number 7. Another romantic comedy, and one that is a one season and that's it. So it's finished. You don't have to wait for 20 other seasons to come out like One Piece. Tomochan is a girl. Tomochan is a girl is a anime that I was definitely not is expecting much of it, and I literally just started watching it because it was in Spanish, and I was like, oh, I'm just playing Call of Duty or something like that, and I'm gonna put something in the background. But this anime completely grabbed me like by the neck and shoved me into its wonderful little story. You don't have the typical cutesy girl wanting to be with the awkward guy. Here we have a handsome, not socially awkward guy with a very masculine girl who, yeah, can be awkward at times, but not necessarily. She can handle herself. So you have two people that kind of break the stereotype of the romantic comedy anime where usually they cannot necessarily fend for themselves, or they are very socially awkward or very skinny, Here we have them being built, and and they can 100% be by themselves, which that's honestly the one thing that I liked the most about this anime, is that both of these characters, I 100% believe, do not need the other, but they want to be with the other. You know what I mean? So I think that was a very good take. Now the comedy here is great, and Tomo-chan, it's 100% not the usual waifu type, but with them thighs though, she can crush you like a watermelon, and she has earned a spot as a waifu for me, even though she would never be like my type of anime girl to look at. But fantastic, fantastic comedy. I 100% loved it. Number six, it's gonna be Rurouni Kenshin, another one from Crunchyroll. This is the Rurouni Kenshin reboot. Now, here's the thing. Why is it so low on the list if you guys know that Rurouni Kenshin, the original, is like on my top, like high almighty pedestal of anime? Well, the thing is that there's a couple of things from this anime that I appreciate, like the fact that it's very faithful to the manga, but because of that, it suffers from pacing a little bit. The original gave certain alterations to the story that drove the emotional impact way harder. Now, here's the thing: the first 10 episodes of this series got me worried, not gonna lie, because I was not enjoying them as much, and I was feeling like it was just uh, kind of meh. But it picks up really good, and I'm just waiting for it to come out in Spanish to rewatch it, because it definitely picks up. The voice acting gets insanely good, and it's a very good series. But it does have a slow start. But again, a great story regardless, and I'm a huge fan on its own merit of this anime. I believe even if this anime was original and had never come out before, with having me no emotional strings to it, I would still have it on this list, because the characters are really good and the story in itself is realistic. So definitely a good solid contender on the list. Next, we have another recent one from Crunchyroll, The Apothecary Diaries. Contender for Best Girl of 2023 and Best Girl of the fucking decade. We have Mao Mao and her weird obsession with poison. So, this is a very interesting series because it's kind of like a comedy, but also kind of like a mystery at times, detective work type of thing. Honestly, the story is just a conduit to showcase the characters, and especially Mao Mao. Mao Mao is this girl who's completely obsessed with poison, and that has a very apathetic look at life, and she just goes with the current. She's definitely not your typical anime girl. She's a very unique character, and I think she is going to 100% be on everyone's lists this year. I cannot describe this series in a short sentence because it's abundant of grace, comedy, beautiful animation, uh, quick, quick comedy timing, and dry humor from time to time. So, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and do yourself a favor and watch this one, because it's really good. Now, the next one that we have, which is number four, is one that is not done yet. There's so far only 9 episodes out, and honestly, if if it continues the way it is, I'm 100% sure that it's going to be a massive success regardless, because it has been. Every episode has been fantastic. And that is some 100 bucket list of the dead. Now we have another another contender of best girl of 2023, but she's not the protagonist. We have Akira. Akira Tendo is our protagonist, who is just completely fed up with work and cannot. He's just waiting for the moment to die. And then suddenly the zombie apocalypse happens, and there's nothing more. There's not a more joyful moment for him than the entire world ending, because it means that he doesn't have to go to work, you know, which is great for him, and he even cries of happiness, and I relate to that a lot, you know. I really, 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 really do. So the message of at least the message that I got from the anime, as soon as he realizes that he doesn't have to go to work anymore, and he makes a bucket list of what he wants to do before he gets turned into a zombie, and he just goes and does it, you know. And the underlying message is to just enjoy life. Don't let work become your life, you know. Work because you want to live, not live because you just want to work. And I really appreciated that message, and I can see like certain undertones that are a little bit deeper than just the bombastic comedy that this show presents. And with that, let's go into the um, number three. But before we go into number three, I want to give a couple honorable mentions before we get to the top three. Honorable mention number one would be found in Hulu, and that is Tokyo Revengers Season 2. My boy Mikey is the absolute goat. Takemichi, or Takebichi, can go and suck a dick. I could not care less about him. He will always be one of the worst protagonists in my lists. But the series showcases everyone else in such a fantastic way. Takemichi is just the only one that I cannot stand, but Draken and Mikey are insanely good to look at, and the story actually takes a very interesting take on time traveling. So if you haven't seen Tokyo Revengers, I 100% recommend that you do. Season one can be watched on Crunchyroll, and season two, for whatever reason, is just on fucking Hulu. Now, another one that I would recommend if you like romantic comedies is Love Flops. Another one from High Dive. It's exclusive High Dive anime, and it's really good. It's like I said, it's just it's it's like the new Crunchyroll, the 100 girls that really, 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 really love you. That's kind of what we have here. We have five girls that want a guy, and just a comedy gold. Now, I have not seen the girlfriends that really, 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 really love you, but I have seen this one, and I like this one a lot. So 100% recommend that one if you're into that. Obviously, I'm just going to recommend the basic ass Demon Slayer because it was good, even though I think this is the weakest season. But still, a weak season of Demon Slayer is a strong season of other fucking anime. You know, I will 100% say do not watch this bullshit. And lastly, the one that I will recommend obviously is Spy Family, because Spy Family is Spy Family and Anya is Anya. Now with number three, with the top three, we have Dark Gathering, a High Dive or exclusive. Dark Gathering is such an interesting fucking anime, man. It starts off as this scary ass thing, very mystery, with a overwhelming sensation of unnervingness, and then turns into like this Pokemon adventure. And if you've seen it, you'll understand why I say that. But like the darkest, like, you remember when you were playing Pokemon on the Nintendo, like on the Game Boy Color, or yeah, any like Game Boy, and you got to that town where you are able to like catch ghastlies and hunters, and in the like ghost tower, and the eerie music was just polluting the entire town, and it was just scary and creepy, and nothing felt right. That's this series. Very, very dark imagery, very suspenseful moments, fantastic way of showcasing horror. So, Dark Gathering is the story of Keitaro, who has been cursed, as well as his childhood friend, and they are on a mission to find a way to lift the curse with the help of Yayoi, her name. That's this little girl who has the ability to just be creepy. Let's put it that way. I don't want to give too much. Just say it's a great anime, so please go ahead and watch it. Next one, number two, Vinland Saga season two. The reason why this thing is so high up on the list, even though I don't think I would buy a figure of every character of Vinland Saga, but because in an unbiased opinion, this series did a lot that I would never imagine Vinland Saga to do. Vinland Saga season one started as an incredible story of Vikings and action and the horrors of war. I would never in my 87 years of life think that they would kind of abandon all of that and do no action whatsoever and just do character exploration. I was dumbfounded to see that Vinland Saga season 2 just explores the characters and lets you sulk on the repercussions of war times and how this can be might as well like a documentary in a way. Not saying that any of this happened, but it is presented in such a way that you can definitely tell there's a lot of passion and research behind all of this. So I just have mad respect for this series because I think Vinland Saga season 2 is one of the boldest seasons of anime because it takes a lot of guts to say, you know what, I'm not going to continue with the action. Instead, I'm going to give this piece of retrospection, redemption, and character exploration. That takes guts, and they did that. So because of that, it's on my top two, and top one. I mean, I mean, do we do we really like? Do we really have to like? Come on, just. I mean, is come on, come on.